Hey guys, it's Moon Trades. Today I just wanted to talk about the trades I took today, how I had this loss even though my bias was correct, how I failed in getting the right setup, and I wanted to talk about my swing trade today and how I enter swing trades. Before we get into the video, make sure to like and subscribe, join the free Discord, and let's get right into it. So I'm first going to talk about the trade I took today, where I was wrong, where I was right, and what I would do better. So, as we look at this chart, based on my previous video, this would make me bullish because we've had multiple areas of liquidity taken out, and then finally the dump into open, and we had demand here. Now, this is where I went long in this area, like near this bottom right here. If I had not been greedy, well, I wouldn't say I was being greedy because this is the setup where I'm expecting to see a huge market reversal. But if I was playing it a little bit more smart and not totally relying on the setup and actually relying on actual price action, I could have just taken the trade off here, but I thought it would come back, test here, and rally again, but I was wrong. It tanked, and I took it off. Now, right after it reverses, and it doesn't even get past here, so I try a few longs here, I get stopped out. Finally, this is the trade I do catch though. I see us take out this low, make liquidity, rally again, take out this low, and we rally the rest of the day. So, in conclusion, the idea was correct, but always remember you can be wrong. Don't stick just for the setup, actually watch price action. So, I honestly thought price was reversing here too, and I was wrong. I didn't quite take this trade here, but I did think price would reverse here. It made sense to me. We came back to this kind of demand, sort of smaller demand area. We just took out, we made this setup that I really like where we make this low, we break it, we come back and we hold it. So I really thought we were going to reverse here. And then no, market actually wanted to go a level lower. And you know what happened right here? We ripped. We ripped. This is literally past even where I took this long. We totally ripped. So I think the point is always watch what price is doing. You might have the right idea, but just continue to focus on the chart, focus on what it's telling you, and that's how you stay profitable. It's not just about the setup, it's about you. And I think that's what's important. I think the idea is right. What I would improve on is continuing to refine my time entries because I think time had a huge deal to do with this, right? Look at this. This was exactly at 2 o'clock. Something happened. This maybe it's like the last 2 hour run, but at exactly 2 o'clock, price takes out this last level and reverses. So continue to watch out for what time it is of the day, right? I generally see reversals here, which is why I wanted to take this trade, right? I generally see reversals in this kind of time overlap of London, New York, and that's why I got excited about this area because we just took out this liquidity. So I thought we were in reverse, but then we ended up failing again, which was like, wow. So always be mindful. Once you see price start to reverse, wait for the next grab of liquidity. Don't just hold because, oh, the bias is telling me to go long and this setup looks nice. So I think that's the lesson I learned, and always remember that. So now I want to talk about the swing trade I took on Baba, what I looked for, and kind of my general way to take swing trades. So what I saw on Baba was a break of a liquidity level, right? We took it out, support. We came back, we tested another support, and that sent us up. Now, that's not the important thing. The important thing is that we came back, we retested that original support right here that we broke down from and came back to. That's just, for me, that's a really strong setup, right? So this day we gapped into it, and then we had Friday. We didn't really make anything off these lows. Finally, we hold here again. We hold it again. Like, I want to see kind of a consolidation on it first, so I don't want to just see the first test because that usually fails. Second test, possibly, but it ended up failing. You could have still bought it down here, and you still would have been even on this trade. And then finally, Last day I saw this, I was like, wow, this looks really nice. I just like the price action, I like the market. And finally, we gap up. We absolutely rip. And that ended up being a huge trade for me. So you look for, first of all, a break of support, it to come back, reclaim it and retest, and then we want to see consolidation on it, and then finally take the swing trade overnight, and that's your trade. So there's actually this very similar setup on Roku that also caught my attention, right? So you have this support level, we have this huge breakdown, and it even had this really big wick, which is extremely important, right? You have all of these sellers trapped in this wick. You make a strong reversal, you come back down to this area. We bounced from it, we came back down. We bounced from it, we came back down. This time, and this time, right here. So one, one, two, and then three, and then this is my entry. One, I don't know if this would count as a bounce actually. So I think this is one, two, three right here. That's my swing actually. That's the swing I'm taking overnight today. So let's review this. We have this break of support. We have this rapid reclaim. And I also, when I talk about support and liquidity, I don't want just like it bounced off of here once. I want it bounced off of here multiple times. It held even a little bit here. It took it out. It came back and it held it. And then again, and then again. And that's my swing. And that's what I'm hoping to get a good amount, at least a 2% swing on it. For the options, it would go up a lot more. And now I'm watching a very similar setup for Dish. What I like about it is that we're at a 24-year support level. So that's something that definitely should be taken into account. Another thing that I like is that um, it's extremely undervalued as a company, like from book value and from earnings overall. Obviously, it's not the best company, and I do not suggest this as a long term investment at all. I'm not a financial advisor in any way, so do keep that in mind. This is not a long term thing. I like this as a swing thing. We're at 24-year low. We're pretty undervalued and oversold. And then now, what would make me take this trade would be this reclaim and then retest, because this is pretty strong support for me because of how like kind of that rapid bounce off of here. That makes it strong support for me, and also I already have other reasons. There's also insider buying. Now, obviously, I'm not going to buy anything over the insider buying, but like that clues me into something. Like something's happening here, right? I already like the chart, so now that I have insider buying with it and a 24-year low, and I think it's oversold, that gives me another idea for a swing trade. And finally, for today, I wanted to discuss this last swing trade on Pinterest. That was a potential idea. I didn't quite take it, but I really liked the setup. Um, we had this kind of rising trend line. Now, I don't use trend lines a lot at all, but it did seem to respect it a lot. I didn't take the trade just based on the trend line. I think that's the important thing. Don't use trend lines just because they're there. Use them because it makes sense. Use them because price is actually respecting these levels, right? So, what did I see? I saw a pop above the trend line and rapidly tanked below. What does that mean? That I think that constitutes that as a liquidity grab because people were taking it long off the break of the trend line, and it rapidly came back down. And what did we have right after? We had a retest of that trend line. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a perfect retest because trend lines are somewhat subjective. But once I saw it come back to this price area and reject near the trend line, that's extremely important, right? That's literally the trade right there. And then look, you could have held this overnight for what? Literally like a $2 move on a $28 stock at that point. That's insane. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to be made. And then it's all about using the right tools. Okay. I use my indicator, my favorite indicator that shows you these levels. And then right there we have a price imbalance. Right there. Look at that. We have selling imbalance, which means there's heavy selling in this area. we already want price to retrace because this is a liquidity grab, we can wait for price to come back into this heavy selling area. Use this indicator, okay? Supply, demand, and equilibrium zones. How I want you to use it is to look for these imbalances where there's no volume. See that? Now wait, if you're bearish, which I was, wait for price to retrace into this area, and that's a perfect swing right there. Perfect swing, perfect price target. I targeted the gap. There's nothing better you can ask for, honestly. Um, so just remember, look for ideas that not everyone will look for. Not everyone will look for shorts off of this break. But remember that not only did it come back down, but I also remembered I kept in mind that I looked at the actual insider trading for this, and there was a lot of selling. Obviously, again, that's not how you trade. You don't trade just based on insider selling, insider buying. But I just kept that in mind. Like, are we really going to break out and just start continuing? I mean, this has been sold off heavily by insiders, right? So I just kept that in mind. I made a smart entry right here with this volume imbalance and a perfect target at the gap up. So just keep these things in mind. Keep focusing on analyzing the charts. Don't trade with too much emotion, or you'll just stay up all night just thinking about these trades. Just take the trade, do your due diligence, and um, just trade the best you can. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and join the free Discord. Link is down in the description. And that will be all for today. See you in the next one.